One of the most divisive titles in Star Wars is Rian Johnson's 2017 movie Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which featured the return of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker. Though many feel the movie fumbled Luke's character arc, Luke Skywalker exiled himself to the planet Octave following the destruction of his Jedi Academy, which was seen being built in the Book of Boba Fett. Luke became a recluse and had no contact with any of his family or friends following Kylo Ren's fall to the dark side. Hamill's cameo appearance at the end of Star Wars: The Force Awakens gave audiences hope that Skywalker would be able to assist the Resistance and take down the First Order, but that isn't what happened. Instead, Luke Skywalker rejected Rey, refused to train her, and was completely disillusioned with the Jedi and their teachings. For many, this characterization of such an iconic character felt wrong, with Mark Hamill even saying he felt that the Luke he played in The Last Jedi was different from the Luke in the original Star Wars trilogy. Luke Skywalker spoke for viewers when he criticized the Jedi. Luke's lost faith in the Jedi mirrors the audience's lost faith in the franchise after the prequels. Pointed out in a thread, ex-user The Negotiator 95 explains that Luke Skywalker's portrayal in The Last Jedi was supposed to be a meta-commentary on the audience's reactions to the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Luke Skywalker had lost faith in the Jedi Order following the destruction of his Jedi Academy and him losing his only nephew to the dark side, similar to how many Star Wars enthusiasts had seemingly lost faith in the franchise following the release of the prequel movies. After these major events, nothing was the same for Luke or for Star Wars viewers. In the original Star Wars movies, there were almost no Jedi, and those who existed were almost 20 years removed from the decimation of the Jedi. This means that when Jedi were shown in their traditional fashion, alongside all their flaws in the prequel films, audiences didn't like it. Luke Skywalker hadn't been exposed to the Jedi Order, just to a few select Jedi, so when his Jedi Academy failed he turned his back on it. This reflects real life, where some Star Wars enthusiasts turned their backs on the franchise and George Lucas after the prequel movies. Many individuals who grew up dreaming of being a Jedi and being able to wield the Force like Luke Skywalker were let down by the Star Wars prequel trilogy. This is because the Jedi Order was so flawed, they pushed Anakin Skywalker to fall to the dark side, and thus let Palpatine rise to power and take control of the galaxy. The prequels, at the time, felt like getting cold water dumped on audiences. However, when this philosophy was applied to The Last Jedi, it kind of fell flat. Luke's prequel plot failed for a simple reason. By the time of The Last Jedi, the prequels had finally been accepted. One of the reasons why Luke's arc in The Last Jedi didn't sit well with audiences was because those negative opinions about the Star Wars prequels no longer were the leading opinions. In the almost 20 years since the release of Star Wars, Episode III, Revenge of the Sith, criticisms over the prequel movies have dissipated, and they are now a beloved part of the Star Wars galaxy. One of the things that helped shape this change was time and the fact that the children who grew up watching the movies now had a way to voice their opinions. Another aspect that helped make the prequel era a fan favorite was the animated Star Wars: The Clone Wars television show. The Clone Wars ran for 7 seasons and helped humanize and bring more context to the characters of the prequel era, particularly the Jedi Council and Anakin Skywalker. Thus, when Rian Johnson planned on making Luke Skywalker a meta-character to represent the hatred of the prequel era, and the Jedi, it fell flat.